Okay, this is my audience. I'm only quarantined with my mom, so I can only have one person and not two. I'm sorry. Autism is a developmental disability that causes social, communicational, and behavioral challenges, according to the Centers for Disease Control. But people that actually have the autism spectrum disorder prefer this quote. Autism, it isn't a disability, it's a different ability. Autism affects many people. In the United States, it affects 1 in 42 boys and 1 in 189 girls. So, because that number is so high, organizations come around to help. They raise money to support their well-being, and some, like Autism Speaks, don't do the best job. My goal here is to inform you why Autism Speaks is a bad organization, to tell you that autism does not need a cure, and to give you some good organizations that you can support instead of Autism Speaks. Autism Speaks has some problems that cause autistic people to not support the organization, even though it is the largest in the country. For example, lots of their funding goes to the wrong places. Only about 4% of their funding actually goes to autistic children and their families. And this is according to their own logs that they post on their website, their financial statements. Most of that funding is going towards finding a cure, which is my next point, and then advertising. One major thing wrong with their organization is that they want to find a cure. Autism doesn't need a cure, and it also can't have a cure because it is a developmental disorder, and the way that your brain's developed cannot be changed after it has already been done. And then one of the most disappointing things about Autism Speaks to me is that none of their team is autistic. They're an organization that's claiming to be a voice for those that don't have one, or to just be a louder voice. But none of their team is autistic. They did have one man named John Robeson. He was the only one that was autistic on their team, and he quit. And he stated that it was a bad experience and that they don't actually support autistic people the way everyone thinks that they do. They claim to give these people voices, but how can they when they don't have the right experience? Also, according to their own statistics, 85% of autistic people are unemployed, yet they're not employing any in the spot that they would probably thrive the most. Furthermore, they said that they're looking for a cure. Autism doesn't need a cure. There's lots of factors that lots of factors that contribute to autism. There's not one gene that you need to look out for, and there is no way to prevent a child getting autism. Autism is a different ability, but there are tons of ways that they can still be successful. And because of better healthcare now, people are able to be diagnosed earlier, and because of that, they can get better aid and advance even further in the world. Autistic people do not want a cure. They want acceptance. And some will even say that acceptance is the cure to autism. Although it is disappointing that the largest organization is not one that autistic people actually do support, these are some great organizations that are recommended by people who are autistic. The first is the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network. Their slogan is "Nothing about us without us." They actually employ autistic people. They give them a voice, they include them in their advertising, and they are approved by every autistic person that I saw in my research. Also, there is the Autistic Women and Non-Binary Network. Their slogan is neurodiversity is for everyone. Just because your brain did develop differently doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Everyone is different, and that is what they are highlighting in their organization. And the final one I want to touch on is the Golden Hat Foundation. And their slogan is honoring intelligence. So on their website, they always highlight a person with autism who has done something good in their job or academically, or just in general. It's a very nice organization, and it's a good pick-me-up if you want to check out their organization. To conclude, Autism Speaks has changed over the years, but they still have a long way to go. Autism doesn't need a cure because it is a different set of abilities. If you care about your autistic friends and the people you know, don't support Autism Speaks. Thank you.